Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI, which I've previously called Final Fantasy III. We'll discuss why. With me, Get Daved. And you know what? Something is not right here. Something just doesn't look... Yeah! Now we're kicking with scanlines on! Thanks to all the people who commented complaining about me having scanlines on for my LP. I'll turn it off because I listen to you guys, but you know what? I like how it looks. It's classic CRT gaming. If you're from the distant future and you don't know what a CRT TV is, neither do I. I'm young like that. Let's watch this fight. I'm gonna get 512 gold pieces. Yep. Because that's how cool I am. So last time we got through Mount Koltz, and I showed you a minor, tiny little scene with Sabin. I think I gained a level on everyone. We're maybe a little low for the easiest path, but don't worry about that. This is the Returna hideout. We're going to meet the leader of the Resistance. There's also all sorts of little goodies hidden throughout the base. Like a green cherry. Can never have too many of those. There's also a good place to save up here, but we're not going to do that. Oh yeah, she might not know about them. Maybe you should start giving her some good news, or talk about things she knows about. I've heard this story before. I guess since it was a man who opened it, would be Pandora's box? Well, at least he didn't come off as too strong and too intense. Back when I was younger playing this game, I just took it for granted that Banon was a good guy. But in retrospect, now I kind of think... he seems a little crazy. The term jailed is probably a mistranslation of a Japanese character that looks like jailed. It would more likely be killed as a euphemism for... and it's like a similar sort of thing, like how sometimes we say sleeping instead of dead. There's a pro tip for you. You might not remember them. Maybe you do. Maybe it's the plot of the movie The Vow. If you're not familiar with that movie, that's okay. That's better. You can always count on Locke to make someone feel better, unlike that jerk Banon. By the way, you're the only hope for the universe. You can do whatever you want, but we're all gonna die. Membership is up, that's good. This crazy bunch of radicals. I'm going to take this opportunity to buy 2 other sets of sprint shoes. I will not be explaining why, but I recommend you do it. It's not the end of the world if you don't, and why not an echo screen? Might as well have at least one of everything. But not explicitly. I want him to never know what I really think. Keep him guessing. But the other guy said enrollment was up and things were going really well. There's a free inn where you can stay down here. Also, because this is starting to get a little painfully slow, I'm going to double up. I don't think there's anything hidden down here, but there are all sorts of goodies in this base. point in the game you have pseudo-free will over whether or not Terra will help the returners. The fact that you're trying consciously to be different is nice. Girl forced to make up her mind on where she stands in a war without any knowledge. Air Lancet is a nice weapon for Locke. And here's what I like. There's a relic called the White Cape back here, and it's actually one of the best relics in the game because it'll increase your character's magic evade by 10, which of course is really their ability to evade every attack. So now Terra's in business. Of course, the higher your evade stat gets, the more meaningful every percentage gain is. Oh, don't be like this. You're on camera, everyone will know you're a jerk. Because of course, if your evade stat is at 80%, for example, you will dodge 4 out of 5 attacks. But if you raise it another 10%, it doesn't actually go up 10%, it goes up 50%, because you'll be dodging 9 out of 10 attacks. 4 out of 10 attacks, half as many will hit you. Math! If you say yes, Banon will give you the Gauntlet, which is a decent relic. If you say no, you can then talk to the guard, who will give you a Genji Glove, which, in my opinion, is slightly better. However, that is a gross hyperbole, Banon. A lucky charm that covers your hand. Lets you hold a weapon with 2 hands. So you don't have a shield, but you hit almost twice as hard. It's a 75% increase in damage. The Genji Glove lets you hold 2 weapons. We'll get into why that's better. Maybe never. They seem to be at the heart of this. Uh-oh. Playing it out again. All of this has happened before, and all of this will happen again. 5 points. Except that in Magitech power, the machine's empowered by magic, not a person. And then it'll go berserk. Who can say? Let's just do it. See, this is why I kinda have mixed feelings about Banon. Sound of a door opening? Good thing we didn't station a guard. You dead. I guess that millionaire sold them out. Hey, hey! You won! Up your alley. He called you a lech. Fair enough. I like how our escape plan is getting out on a raft being propelled down a river. Huck Finn and I. Whoops. Subtract 5 points from me. Alright, so we've got Banin in the party now. He looks like a man who's been living in the mountains indefinitely. He does have one of the most useful skills in the game, though. And it's a shame you can't have them forever. There we go. And I'm just going to switch health and fight, because if Banin dies, you're screwed. So that's why I moved him to the back door. Into the back row. He's got the Punisher, which is kind of a mediocre staff, but it's cool. Magus Hat, Silk Robe. Those are both like magic stat boosting things. One's for magic evade, one's for his actual magic power stat. I'm not sure how the health skill calculates its effectiveness, but... And down the raft we go! This is incidentally one of the best places to grind for experience in the entire game. You have relatively few party members, so if you know, you get some serious experience points on these characters. I don't think the enemies are going to live long enough for you to see health in this fight. Oh well. Anyway, if you stockpile experience points on these characters, it'll carry over quite nicely. The reason it's so good to grind is you've got Bane in your party, so he can keep everyone alive indefinitely. There are some fights that have really good experience, and we'll just show it right now. Yeah, that was free. This is the worst rewarding battle for experience points. You get just under 100. There are some fights that net you well over 200, so that's pretty good experience by most standards. There also is semi-good reasons... Ah, here's a better fight for you. Pterodons are the last type of enemy here. If you're really afraid of them... Actually, I'll show you something cool. I'm just going to hold back a little bit. In the hope that I can show you just how much these pterodons are holding back on you. Alright, put on a good show. That wasn't the move I was thinking of. We're just gonna give this pterodon... Yeah, here you go! This move hits all enemies, or all targets. They can use it as much as they want. So they could rock you with Fireball, but they don't. Let River's broken up into 3 sections, maybe 4 depending on your perspective. We're on the first one right now. There will be a cave where we can rest. And we're at it already. Then there will be another stretch of the river. And in that stretch, if we keep choosing to go straight, when they give us a fork in the river again, we can just keep grinding. We'll keep going in a circle forever and ever. And when I was a boy, I had a turbo controller. So I mapped the menu configuration exactly like I have it right now. Set a ottoman leg down on the A button with turbo turned on, and then went to bed on Friday night and came back Saturday morning. And Sabin was dead on level 25, and Terra and Edgar were both on level 40. So that was pretty good. Terra learned Drain, which was actually a really hard spell to learn. So yeah, if we go up, we'll enter an infinite loop and never get out of here. There's some advantages to having Sabin on level 14 in a bit later, because when he's on level 15, he'll learn his next Blitz, which is very useful for an area later on. I'm not going to make a huge effort to grind him up that high. Alright, we just finished the second segment of the Let River. Might as well save. Don't worry about the fact that Sabin has the Dark status ailment. And I find that offensive. So let's say he has the I have something in my eye status ailment. Because that does nothing. Thank you, glitches in the game programming. If I was really picky, I would have bothered to give my characters all the extra relics and everything, but honestly, we've got Banin, so it won't really matter. 232 experience points. If you there's a boss fight coming up. If you forget to have Banin in the back row, up to that point, you can change him in battle, which I strongly recommend. Alright, this is the end of segment 3 of the Let River, everybody. It's an octopus named Ultros. Game over, man. Game over. Alright, you just want to make sure Banin doesn't die, no matter what. I don't care who you have to kill or sleep with, get it done. I wonder if we can poison him. Ultros is kind of a hilarious recurring boss character in this game. I like that he says seafood soup when you cook him. We can probably do better than that. This is the painful attack. If he targets it explicitly or directly on Banin, there's a good chance you're screwed. He's in the back row though, so we're slightly better off. Well, wasn't much I could have done about that. He also will sometimes use Tentacle on everyone in your party. That's also no good. Eh? Muscle heads? Because he's seafood? And Sabin's muscular? Come on, he's growing on you, admit it. All of them? Yep. Found a lot of the time, back before I thought to put Banin in the back row, Ultros tends to hit everyone with Tentacle and then nail just him. It's happened way more than once to me. So long, folks! No victory fanfare? We probably just beat it into submission. You should have been watching Sabin, not Terra. Don't tell me what to do! No? He has limited oxygen, man. Martial arts works even better underwater. What the? Emulation bug? Bye, brother. I'm sorry I gave you a life of exile to guarantee my own throne. And thus the group was separated again. And now we reach one of my favorite things in just about any video game, the scenarios. I think it's so fun that they split up and that the narrative mode of the game sort of shifts, as it does. There's sort of a narrator to Final Fantasy, or Final Fantasy VI, and they're not afraid to break the fourth wall a little bit for things like this, and what a great dilemma. So next time we're going to pick our first scenario. You have to do all three eventually, and I'll see you there.